Hey guys, today we're gonna react to Super Mario Bros. Cast Review Hilarious Comedy Origin Stories. So we're going to hear them, and I decide to react to them. Let's do this.
Welcome back, y'all. We are here with the cast of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is in theaters everywhere in April. We've got Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Keegan-Michael Key, and Jack Black. You've all been here before, except for Bowser, except for
Oh my
Jack.
God, it's my firstie.
It's your
Jack's first time.
But we partied before. We did a charity thing together, and
The first time you don't even remember. I sat next to you at the. It was. I think I was still an Idol, but it was at the.
Oh, yeah.
It was whenever Michael Jackson accepted the award that wasn't an award.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like happy birthday, and he was like, and he said thank you for being the artist of the millennium, and everyone was like,
oh yeah, it was a crazy moment that we shared.
that was at that one too. Anyway,
I remember that.
I remember sitting next to you because I love you. So.
Aw,
anyway.
feeling
But anyway,
huge.
yeah, I just.
Hey, you got pipes for days. We should do a duet one of these days.
I want to. You should have been my partner on the karaoke today. You would have killed it. It was like
Let's do this.
shredded. So basically, because my voice is shot, but I actually love. Y'all are all musical. Everyone sitting here is musical. So why? I mean, Tenacious D, obviously. Obviously, yeah. Like, was that your first love when you were a kid? Did you think you would?
No, I was a real ham, and it didn't matter if it was singing or acting, whatever. I just like to get up in front of a crowd. And I was doing both from an early age. I was singing and acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting on a show. Didn't
I love
really
that.
matter. Old school showman.
Well, Keegan, you're the same. You do musical theater. You do all the things. Like, what did you think? Was your first love music, or was it acting?
No, the first thing I wanted to be was a veterinarian.
Are you serious?
Yes, I love animals so much. And I used to
Random.
sit on my head with my dad and watch like Jacques Cousteau's or Marlon Perkins' Wild Kingdom.
Yeah.
Anybody who's, my age and knows what I'm talking about. But at any rate, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but then I got into theater as I got into high school. And then like most people in high school, a lot of people start in musical theater.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then just recently in my career, that's the thing I've been kind of doing. I've been doing, I think
You're
I've
great
sung
at
the
it.
last 4 of the last 6 things I've worked on.
I know. That's what I was saying. You're incredible. I always wonder, like, what was the first love? I always love asking people. You play, like, 7 instruments. I feel like you play a lot of instruments.
Yeah, when I was like in 8th grade or 7th grade, I was in the school band and I played trombone.
Yeah.
And I had
Trombone,
a sweet
okay.
sweatshirt that would say your name and your instrument. So I had the sweatshirt that said Charlie Trombone.
Charlie.
Which became
Charlie.
my nickname, which was cool with everyone except girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I gave up the trombone. That's how
Women killed the dream.
You're
going in my phone as Charlie Trombone.
Okay, that's cool.
That's actually
Changing our contacts.
pretty awesome.
I'm going to edit in our contacts.
That's it.
I know you play guitar.
I do.
You played in Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
but
right.
Was music a first love of yours? Did you?
Well, I always really loved music. I had a friend growing up, Josh, who played guitar, and when I decided to go to community college after high school, I was looking through the classes, and there was theater and there was guitar, and so I was like, I'm going to try those 2 out, and I made it 1 semester in college, and by the 3rd or 4th day of playing the guitar, I learned like 3 chords, and I was like, I'm done with school. I'm a professional. I'm not going.
You're my daughter.
And sit and play music in the quad at the school with my guitar case open and get money like they do. And I started making money. I was like, and I basically dropped out of school and just played
To busk. Okay.
to busk for a little bit. I
didn't know that.
Well, yeah,
that's a good one.
It's good.
This is my daughter. Like, where I'm like, oh, do you want to take lessons? Because she'll start playing. She goes, I already know how. And I'm like, okay, no, you don't. I'm like, I'm not like the participation ribbon mom. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, you got to really spell it out. They're very confident though at a young age and just think, yeah, you're not playing Beethoven. It was like, boop, boop, boop. We're back with Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Keegan-Michael Key, and Jack Black. Y'all give it up. Together they starred in the Super
Is
Mario
it,
Brothers movie in theaters everywhere. in April. All right, so Keegan, you started out doing improv. So what's like a memory that will unfortunately stay with you?
Well, one thing I think that's interesting, especially the rest of these guys who've improvised, improvising with other people wonderful. It's one of like the great joys of my life.
The energy of it.
The energy of it and the give and take of it and what we call yes-anding.
Yeah.
The hardest part is that you can't always control what the audience is going to say. So sometimes you'll ask for a suggestion, and there's one thing that no matter what you do, if you ask for a profession, you could say, ladies and gentlemen, can you give me just give me a date in history? 1776. Okay, great, that's wonderful. Can I have a suggestion of an occupation? Proctologist.
Every time.
Great. Can we try? What if we try? What if we try a different occupation? Every time you ask, you're like, can I get a profession? Proctologist.
You're killing.
Every audience, no matter where you are, first suggestion,
Blockade.
proctologist.
This says a lot about this.
Says a lot about our
Blockade.
society. Doesn't it?
Blockade.
Okay, how about not proctologist?
There's no blockade today?
Okay, all right.
Okay, cool.
AA Ron.
Switching it up.
Where is AA Ron?
Science.
They love me.
Which is cool.
No AA
Because
Ron
everyone's
today?
thinking, what's the
You
funniest
son of
thing
a-
I can say? And
Right,
that's, of course, it goes straight to the butt.
Right,
Oh, I like Mookie. Okay.
Because poop is funny. Poop is funny.
Oh my God, says my 6-year-old. So what about you, Chris? Any early on-stage memories that you'd rather forget?
Oh man, I remember doing stand-up comedy in Seattle at this little place called Giggles. It was like an open mic kind of thing, and I was like, I was funny in high school. Like people thought I was funny, and I used to make people laugh. But getting up on a stage and doing it's a different, a totally different scenario.
Like a planned hilarious.
Yeah,
moment.
because you can be funny around your friends because you catch them off guard. You're like, I wasn't expecting you to say a joke just now.
Right.
But taking away
Yeah.
the surprise and being like, say a joke.
Right.
You're like, I don't know how. So I had a whole list of various jokes that I thought I was going to go through, and my guitar, and I was going to do a whole bit, and it was okay. But then I made the mistake of leaving my guitar case up there with my list of jokes, and the next comic came up and took my list out and just
ripped.
destroyed me. Just so much fun of me and my list of jokes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where
are you now? Where are you now?
I mean,
Still at,
Nah.
still at Giggles.
Yeah,
Still at
Nah.
Top, you son of a...
Wow, Jack.
looking back though, it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
gotta take some lumps. I'll tell you. You
It's
gotta
like
take-
that's just material for days. Like, well, you just handed it to me.
Yeah, it is. Like, and it was. There was a reason he went to the list. You know, he wasn't being mean. My stuff was so bad that he had to make fun of it.
It is interesting though when people think that you're funny, but it doesn't translate always. Like in that those kind of, or you think your friend is very funny, you know, and they do something and you're like, oh, why didn't that translate? That is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Jack, I heard that your first improv game, I hope this is true, was at a Passover Seder. Is that
Yep.
true? Okay. So just how does that happen? Like what kind of games are played at that?
It was an amazing. I remember we had the Passover Seder at a friend's house, and she was an amazing lady. She was a Holocaust survivor, actually, and she had this incredible spirit and energy of creativity and joy. And she
nice.
said, "Now we're done with the Seder. We're gonna play a freeze game. Come on, everyone, come to the living room." And,
Very
We
nice.
played these Viola Spolin games. They're improv games. And I was so into it. I just wanted to be up on stage the whole time in this little living room and getting laughs. And that's where I first caught the bug, yeah.
That energy is awesome. I don't know it like in a comedic way, but just like playing on stage, like musically, like you have nights when people are like really into it and you're feeding off of it, and then you're like, wow. They must have thought somebody else
Mr.
was playing
Keeley.
like Pink. Like, you know, nights where it's just like, oh, it's not going like I thought.
Mr.
Like, you know,
Garvey.
if you feed off of that energy, I feel like.
Yeah, you know it when you try it, if you feel that electricity. You can feel it in like a lot of different games, like, what's the one where you try to guess what the person, like the movie,
Trades.
charades, you know, any kind of game that requires you to get up and put on a little show, you can feel that, like I could play charades for hours and hours when I was a kid because it was so fun to put on a little show.
I agree.
Because you couldn't think of the word charades, the game would probably go really long.
Took so long.
you know, this
Game.
Game, words. 2 syllables.
sit, can't talk.
It's like grunting.
Okay, a chair. What's the next?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, never.
On a Jack day.
Yeah.
Everything I do, you guys are trying to sabotage me.
Jack, we're not Jack.
They left you hanging with the costume.
All I'm doing is trying to think of how I'm gonna get you guys back someday.
winning, though. I think you're really winning.
He is winning.
Charlie, I have to ask, what was your first time like in front of an audience?
Oh man, yeah, 4 years old, and I got to
Wow, that's young.
to walk out on stage of a school play holding the sign that said intermission. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna crush. I'm gonna walk out there. I'm gonna hold this thing upside down. But I didn't tell anybody. I walk out, hold it upside down, and get the big, huge, oh, and that cute laugh. The kid, and I thought, I got what it takes, man. I can do this. I can do this.
They're not gonna remember the play, but they remember the kid with the intermission sign.
It was my best performance. It's downhill since then.
That's it.
Nice. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Well, that's the end of this video, and I'll see you next time.